Millie stood at the very back of the club, her eyes fixed on the stage. If she wasn't so terrified, she would be smiling. But with her level of anxiety at being around this many people, that would be an impossibility. When Jamie had asked her to come tonight, she'd been surprised. But then he had literally asked everyone who knew his girlfriend Libby to come. Still, it was a surprise. Millie was never invited anywhere. Nobody wanted the nuclear winter, she'd overheard that nickname more than once, around socially. She knew that. Even if somebody had decided to extend an invite, she would never usually have gone. Millie knew her limits. She knew what she could cope with, and this was way, way beyond them. Eleanor had been ecstatic that Millie needed something more casual to wear. They'd spent over an hour picking the perfect outfit. She'd even made a move to give Millie a hug after they'd finished, which Millie had deftly avoided. Elle was nice, but then Elle was paid to be nice. Millie imagined that most people would be nice if they were a personal shopper who took a commission from someone who didn't care about the cost of clothes. Money meant nothing to Millie, but wearing the right outfits did, and she did not trust her own judgment. Years ago, at the start of their interactions, Eleanor had tried to extract an opinion from Millie about the clothes she got her to try on, but she didn't bother anymore. Millie simply gave Elle the situation the clothes would be worn in. Elle had her try on a few outfits, and then she chose everything for her, right down to her underwear. Millie knew that she herself had no taste. She knew that if she chose her clothes, it would not be perfect, and appearing perfect was very important to Millie. "Hey, Dr. M." Her head whipped round to see him grinning down at her, his eyes twinkling with mischief. This man's eyes were always twinkling with mischief. Pavlos Martakis was definitely beyond her limits. As Millie was a radiologist and Dr. Martakis a consultant surgeon, she managed to avoid him to a certain extent, but she couldn't avoid him completely, and he'd always unsettled her an unreasonable amount. In a way, he was her complete opposite. Physically intimidating, likable, naturally attractive, extremely confident, sexually promiscuous, and very talented in that area if hospital gossip was to be believed. Yes, he unsettled her. But more than that, she got the impression that to him she was just one big joke, that he took an interest in her purely for his own amusement, like poking a turtle with a stick. "Hello, Dr. Martakis," she said in a tight voice, taking a small step back. She fixed her attention back on the stage and heard him sigh. "Why don't you call me Pavlos?" he asked. When she didn't reply, she heard another more drawn-out sigh. Why was he wasting his time talking to her? "You okay? You seem a bit tense." Millie blinked. She wasn't really used to concern. It threw her for a moment. "Fine," she managed to get out eventually. He was still studying her, and she got the impression he didn't miss much. After a long pause, Dr. Martakis finally broke the silence. "Here." A drink was held out in front of her. She looked down at it, but made no move to release the death grip she had on her handbag. "I don't drink alcohol," she told him. Dr. Martakis burst out laughing, but when she kept on staring straight ahead, it slowly died. "Bloody hell, you're serious? Why on earth not?" "Well, the latest evidence suggests that the interaction of alcohol with primary and secondary targets within the brain causes alterations in gene expression and synaptic plasticity that leads to long-lasting alteration in neuronal network activity." Out of the corner of her eye, Millie could see the pint that had been making its way to Dr. Martakis's mouth being slowly lowered.